Welcome to our first Deck Showcase special, this time detailing decks from 2003, 2004, and the 2005 World Championships. Worlds is not an accurate representation of the metagame, often a distorted version of the format, but there is a lot of value in looking at how the game has changed. I will start with the Champions deck, then look at other points of interest among the remaining contenders. Let's shonen jump right into 2003. Nung Yu Lung piloted a Yada-Lock deck. Well, actually all the top players piloted Yada-Lock decks. This is before the release of Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End, and in its place there are discard cards like Don Zalug, Delinquent Duo, Confiscation, the Forceful Sentry, and Drop Off. These cards deplete your opponent's hand, then you peck away with Yada. Another standout is the playset of Gemini Elf, which is in the deck just because it's a high attack level 4 monster with 1900 attack points. I love seeing vanilla representation. In the sideboard, there's a tech card against discard strategies, with Electric Snake, sort of like a Primordial Brow the Huntsman. For reasons I cannot fathom, there is a copy of White Magical Hat instead of a third copy of Don Zalug. Luca Cassidy did not have Yatagarasu, at least not in the main deck. Instead, there's a Burn Suite with Magic Cylinder, Ring of Destruction, and Cannon Soldier. Triple Scapegoat offer plenty of fuel for Cannon Soldier. I want to end the year with Michael Ryback, who brought such a wacky beatdown deck. Dark Ruler Hades to stop monster effects, Goblin Attack Force and Spear Dragon as beat sticks, Goat Staple Air Knight Parshaft for card draw and piercing damage, then a ton of face-down monster removal. Helphomer has always been one of my favorite cards, and I am glad it had a moment in the sun. Potentially making your opponent go -1 every turn is quite powerful. What is the cherry on the top of the Monster Mash sundae? Question is potentially not Monster Reborn, but it does offer those amazing gameplay moments. If Yada defined 2003, the Chaos Twins of Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning, Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End ushered in a new era. Now attribute mattered, as having light and dark monsters became essential. In Masatoshi Tagawa's world-winning deck, we see Shining Angel, which could recruit DD Warrior Lady and Magician of Faith in a pinch. As far as dark attributes, Kaiko the Ghost Destroyer offers Graveyard Disruption, which is useful to turn off your opponent's chaos monsters. But Kaiko goes a step further with a one-sided Imperial Iron Wall preventing their summon entirely. We also see our first fusion deck, which had no maximum restriction at the time. Everything in the fusion deck is a target for Magical Scientist. And look who is making his debut on the world stage, Thousand Eyes Restrict. In their sideboard, nothing is too exciting. Of course, I like seeing the Mad Monkey Berserk Gorilla and playset of Book of Moon. The Time Seal is a bit concerning, especially so after the legacy of Yatagarasu. Kenyo is an even bigger fan of Berserk Gorilla than me, running 3 in the main deck, alongside Breaker, Jinzo, and Bazu the Soul Eater. There's a pretty strong trend towards aggro, although Triple Torrential Tribute and Dark Hole can reset the board if things are not going in your favor. I want to cap off the year with looking at some deck tech choices. Thunder Nyan Yan is weird, but you have to remember that there wasn't another level 4 1900 attack light attribute monster without more severe downside. To think, Elemental Hero Neos Alias would fill that niche. He is also missing the synergy between Thunder Nyan Yan and a creature swap, turning the inherent neg1 of creature swap into neutral card advantage. We see Tiger King Wanghu, which is a great floodgate monster, underrated to this day. Finally, I want to point out Theban Nightmare. I had never heard of this card, but it is really strong. In a world of hand disruption, or in a fast aggro deck, this can be a level 4, 3000 attack monster. That is astounding. Moving on to 2005, we see Marco Miltiades take home the gold with a Chaos Restrict deck. The deck title is interesting as Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning is the only Chaos payoff. Key players are Blade Knight as an anti-flip effect tech card, Ashura Priest to sweep wide boards, and Hand of Nifs to tutor the Sacred Phoenix. The Fusion deck shows the Restrict part of the title, with a playset of Thousand Eyes Restrict, which can be accessed with a combination of Scapegoat and Metamorphosis. Beyond that, we have a few control cards, with Snatch Steal, Brain Control, Enemy Controller, and the one that doesn't fit the theme, Swords of Revealing Light. Jinzo and Royal Decree explain the Paltry Trap lineup, as this deck was really focused on locking down your opponent. David Kretschmer brought an interesting deck with X-Head Cannon and Dikachi, the battle-chanted locomotive. And at this point, it is rather interesting to see one of the ABC XYZ monsters on the stage. But I want to end on the most bizarre deck title, Tomato Control. Jorge Fabian Lizarraga brought this deck with only 7 monsters, 33 spells, and no traps. But what is the win condition, you might reasonably ask? It is a mill deck, similar to Empty Jar. Morphing Jar and Cyber Jar provide the draw/mill power. Book of Moon and Book of Taiyu are used to trigger and reset the jars. Night Assailant can retrieve the jar if discarded. Mystic Tomato and Sangan are tutors to bring out the other monsters. And the remainder of the deck is stall, draw, or spell recursion. The glory of Tomato Control.